Hello everyone. So today we are going to see some complex problems of the DP on grid, which could be 3D grid, I could say 3D DP grid or 4D DP grid. Okay, so depending on the question. One major thing to consider here is constraints are very less. Okay, your constraints are very less. Then and then only you can make 3D or 4D DP, right? Under 50, maybe, yes. Um, so make sure that you can use this only if your constraints are very, very less. Okay, so time complexity and space complexity won't matter for you. It's just that the algorithm which you make matters for you. Okay, so that's where we'll use 3D DP grid or 4D DP grid. Okay, and the major problem for grid kind of questions in 3D 4D DP is the cherry pickup. You might have heard about this. Okay, now there are two questions, part one and part two on lead code. We'll be discussing both and then we'll be solving part two. One you can solve by yourself. But there are so many variations, okay, which top MNC companies may ask, which the variations of the cherry pickup questions. Okay. Okay, so what does the question says? Basic cherry pickup question says that you're given one grid, okay, okay, cool. You're given one grid, and let's say you have cherries somewhere here. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here maybe, and here maybe. Okay, so these are the cherries, and somewhere zeros are given. That means you cannot visit those cells. Okay, and one person, let me draw a person with different color. One person is standing here and on 0 0. Okay, now what this person does is this person can go either right or down and can pick up the cherries until the last row. Okay, so let's say he picked this cherry and then he went straight and he picked down and he picked this cherries. So I'm just taking one path and I'm marking the cherries which he picked. Okay, and then he comes down, maybe comes right, pick this cherry, uh, comes here, pick this cherry and came down. Okay, so he took four cherries. Now this same person now has reached this cell, last cell, okay? And let this be of the blue color now. Okay, so now the person has reached from here to here following this yellow path. Now person has to go back from this last cell again to 0 0 cell. So from n minus 1, n minus 1, this person has reached from 0 0 to n minus 1. Again, he has to go back by going down, sorry, by going up or left. So either he can go up or he can go left because he has to go from here to here now. And he can again pick the cherries. And you have to maximize the number of cherries which he can pick. So let's say he goes, now he will not take the path where cherries are taken. Okay, of course, he will take the path where cherries are not taken. So either he can go from here to here and take this cherry, or he will go from here to here. Now he cannot go right. Okay, it was said that he can go left or up, maybe. So this is the one of the way, or he can go from here to here, taking one cherry. So these are two possible ways. So this person has taken initially four cherries, and then he took one cherry following any one of the path which is shown in blue. So total of five cherries taken by this person. Okay. So ideally considering what happens is you can consider maybe two persons. Okay, one person standing here and one person standing here, and both starts simultaneously moving, one going right and down, other going up and left. Okay, okay, and they start taking cherries, but a particular cherry has been taken by only one person. Only one person can take the cherry located at that position. So this person can go either there or here, this person can go here or here, and there are two different possible directions and two different persons. So rather than waiting for this person to come here and then start back again, we can consider two persons, one on top left, one on bottom right, both starting their own ways and collecting cherries such that total cherries are maximized. I hope you got the question. So now why 4 DDP comes here in the picture? Because we have to take the coordinates of both the first person and the second person. So it should be 0 0 and n minus 1 n minus 1. Both the persons are starting at different locations and they'll move to different locations. So we have I1 J1 coordinates of first person and I2 J2 as coordinates of second person, and rest all conditions which we learned in the DP remains same. Like if the person is here and if there is a cherry, pick it. Okay, and make the cell 0 now. So there is no cherry now here. Or make it empty. So empty cells are maybe marked as minus 1 or 1, anything. So make it empty. Okay, and cherry cells are marked with some other numbers. So that you know. Okay, and you can do such number of stuffs which you want to do. But the main logic lies here about the 4DDP. That why 4DDP? Because in the DP there are four changing variables which we need to store, which is I1, J1, I2, J2. Okay. Now a variation of this comes in the cherry pickup 2 question. Now what is the variation that they have provided here? So they have given now a grid. Okay. Again, and it has some numbers. Okay, some numbers given. These numbers represent the number of cherries present over there. And whenever a person comes, it can take full number of cherries. So when a person comes here, it will take 2 cherries. Okay, when person comes here, he will take 5 cherries, somewhat like those. Okay, so a grid of numbers are given to you. Now there is one robot standing here, and there is another robot standing here. Okay, so your initial I1 J1 is 0 0, and your initial I2 J2 is 0 m minus 1, considering m is the number of row as m is the number of columns. Okay, this is the n cross m grid. Okay, now you know that the first person is standing here at 0 0, and second person is standing here at 0 m minus 1. And again, you do have to do the same conditions, moving stuff, making safe conditions, okay, that it should not go out of bound and all those stuffs. Okay, and here there are three possible case given, that from ij a person can move to I plus 1j. Okay, that means a row below. I plus 1 j plus 1 means this way, and I plus 1 j minus 1 means this way if it exists. Okay, so these are the three possible directions where a person can move from a particular direction. Okay, so now you know that always I moves plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, be it this person or this person. And for both of them, the ith coordinate is fixed, which is 0, 0. So now, do we need to make two variables for I1 and I2? Like J's are varying. J for this is varying, it's 0, it's minus 1. Now this J can go here or here or here, and this J could go here or here or here. Okay, so this could be like J1 minus 1. So this first person is moving this way. But this could be like J2 plus 1. So that means this person is moving this way. So there are two different possible conditions for jth coordinates. But for the ith coordinate, it is always moving to the next row. From the row, it is already present. So from this row, it can move to this next row. Okay. So we need only one coordinate of I. That's where the logic of this question varies. One coordinate of I only. So we need 3DDP instead of 4DDP here. So we'll store a fixed I and a J1 and a J2, because this I is for the first first robot's ith position also, and this same I we can use for second robot's ith coordinate also. I hope you got. Okay. Now for the base condition, if we talk about, okay, now there are no fixed conditions given like you have to go from here to here only or nothing, like no end positions are given, not even I coordinate, not a j coordinate. You just have to pick up the numbers and it should be maximized. But all numbers are positive, okay, because there are no negative cherries. It could be zero, but not negative. Okay, so the base condition will be out of bound only, and out of bound for I only. So if I is greater than equal to n, so if there are n rows, if you have reached the last row, okay, then that means you cannot move ahead and you can return 0 from here. So your base condition is simplified to out of bound condition. Now for J position, how do we check? Okay, so initially what we used to do is we used to make a directions pair, vector of pair, which 0, -1, 0, 1, and like those kind of stuffs. Now what you have to do? Now your I coordinate, you know that it always goes +1. But for your Jth coordinate, you have J1 and you have J2. Okay, so that will be a 2D loop. Why 2D loop? Because it means you have 9 different directions. If your, let's say this is your first robot, okay? If your robot goes to J1 -1, okay, in this direction, you have three possible conditions for your second robot to move. When this is moving to J1 -1, your second robot can move to J2 only, can move to J2 -1, or can move to J2 +1. Similarly, if this robot is moving to the J1 only, it's okay, it's moving same another row but same column. Okay, then also three possible conditions for second robot to move from any position. It could be in any position at this point. Okay, something ij2, row will be same but column will be different. Okay, and it can either go to j2, again j2 -1 or j2 +1. And similarly for J1 +1 also you have three different conditions. So you can make a loop of for k is equal to -1 till k +1 and k plus plus. And similarly for L equal to -1 to L is equal to +1 and L plus plus. So by moving this chase, we have three different conditions and total nine possible conditions together for robot 1 and robot 2 to move in the grid, and you can maximize your sum that way. And check for safe condition here. Safe should be I should be inbound, j should be inbound, and all those conditions. Okay, I anyways we are checking on top, but still we can check in the safe also. Cool. Okay, then let's solve this question in the lead code platform. Okay, fine. So you are given a rows cross columns matrix grid. So let's say int n is equal to grid dot size, m is equal to grid 0 dot size. Okay, and robot 1 is located at top left corner, which means here, and robot 2 is located at top right corner, which is 0 columns -1. We have to return maximum number of cherries collection using both robots by following the rules. From ij, you can move to I plus 1 j minus 1, plus 1 j, or I plus 1 j plus 1. It picks up all cherries and it becomes an empty cell. So we can mark it as 0, right? We can mark it as 0. Now the important condition one is when both robots stays in the same cell. That means your I is always same for both the robots. But if J1 and J2 is also same, only one time you will take the value of the grid. Otherwise, you take the two of this. Okay. But let's say if the robot comes at 5, then we won't take 5 two times. You just take one time. Okay. It cannot move outside and it should reach the bottom row in the grid. It said that it should reach the bottom row in the grid. So that means I should not go out of the bound. Cool. Okay. What are our constraints for I and J? It's 70. So let's make it for 75. So we have dp of 75, 75, 75. Okay, so we'll do memset this dp -1 and size of dp. Now we have one safe conditions. So bull is safe int I, j1, j2, n and m. So I should be between I and n, and j1 and j2 should be between 0 and m. So if this is the case, it will return true. Else return false. Okay, now we have int solve function, which is for I, let it be I, j1, j2, and we have a grid and an n. Okay, so our condition here says that if I goes greater than equal to n, that means if you have reached out of the bound, you should reach bottom row. But if you didn't reach the last row, you will be returning 0 because you didn't collect any cherries. Also, if you are not safe here, because we don't have pairs, so we need to check, we don't have to check for each pair. Okay. After choosing a combination, we need to check whether this combination is correct or not correct. Okay. So if not is safe, what are I, are J1 and J2 with this N and M, then also will return 0. If dp of I, J1, J2 is not equal to -1, will return I, J1, J2. Cool. Now, now we have cherries. Let's say our cherries are initially 0. Sorry. Now, if your J1 is equal to J2, means you are at same I. Of course, you are at same row. But if you are at same column also, then your cherries would be taken only once, which is I, J1. Else, you will take both the values of your grid, which is I, J1 plus I, J2. Okay, now we have one answer which is initially 0. We'll go from k minus 1 till k1 as we discussed, and our L from -1 to 1, and we'll do maximum answer. So answer is equal to maximum of this answer, comma, solve for I will be always I plus 1. Your J1 is now J1 plus k, and your J2 will be now J2 plus L, same grid, and NM. Okay, and what you will return? I, J1, J2 as your cherries plus whatever answer you got. You can put the cherries here also. No issues, and you can put here also. Cool. Now we will return this solve function with 0. J1 is 0 and J2 is last column. Okay, grid and NM. Let's see. Cool. Okay, so here we complete our DP on grid type of questions, and now from the next video I'll be going to start with the string type of questions in the DP, which are again very easy. So if you have learned a lot out of this, do like, share, and subscribe. And I do put some questions below in the description, which is cherry pick up one, which you can solve by yourself. Stay tuned. Stay